So this is Big Dog Welders 101. That's why I call these, for lack of a better term. This is a manifold system, and I'll show you how to turn it off and on. Usually we'll put our shop foreman in charge of making sure that these tanks are shut off at the end of the day, but all of you can be aware of how they're turned on, how they're turned off. So there's one tank here that feeds all of these wire feed welders. This is CO2, or straight carbon dioxide. We're going to turn the tank on just like we normally do. You can see that there's quite a bit of pressure here, more than we need. So I'm going to back this out. The tank has to be turned all the way on. That's the normal rule in order to get the valve to seat properly at the top. Next thing that has to be turned in line is this right here. This is a shut-off valve that has to be turned in line like this. And you can see when I did that, it pressurized the line and it dropped this regulator down quite a bit. I want this to be about 15 pounds, so I'm just going to turn this T-handle in a little bit until I get to the 15 on the black numbers. I'm really close to being set now. I just have one more thing to turn on before my welder is going to have shield gas. So you can walk down here. Can you hold these curtains open? You can stand out here so you can see. So we've got 3 welders in here. One is a Hobart, just a fine welder. Nothing wrong with it. And we've got 2 more Millers that are awesome. Made in America. That's right. This one has the same wire feed gun. It's called a Roughneck series that the other two do. So they're almost the same welder. If I want to use the Hobart, the on-off switch is right here. My gas for the Hobart is directly behind it. It's going to be the lower line. This shutoff valve right here has to be in line with the hose going down in order for the gas to be on. At this point I can hook up my ground clamp to my table or to my workpiece, whatever is easier, and turn my welder on, adjust my settings. There's a chart right on the front here, and you're off and running. I'll just show you one more quickly. When you're done with these, please, there will be people in charge of the welders, but take these cords and wrap them up so they are not hanging on the ground. Because it's hard to sweep around the cords when they're on the ground, and they end up getting chips, sprays, holes, and stuff in them. So, proper. Okay. One more, this welder right here, very similar. This is a 252. It's almost a brand new welder. It can weld aluminum with the spool gun attachment, or it can weld mild steel, which is what we're going to do. Drives me nuts when the cords are tangled. Your middle finger is really, there we go, thank you. So I'm going to straighten these out, bring them back here and hook them up. Common mistake, these tables are separated, there's an air gap between them. People will hook up a ground on the middle table and they'll try and weld over here on the far table and nothing will happen. And worst case scenario, they get right in the middle here and somehow they cross this gap with their body. What would happen? Get shocked. Could, yeah, you could get shocked because the electricity wants to go from here over to here. Or it could arc through some of these components, which would be bad, or like run through the metal on the table. Either way, we want to always have our ground clamp as close to our work as possible. And then the gas for this one is right back here. This is on or in line. This one can be off. It's argon for the aluminum welder. So very similar. Ethan, jump out here quick. Just a bigger version of what you've been working with. Bigger nozzles. The wire diameter is 5/1000ths of an inch bigger. It's 0.035 or 35 thousandths wire instead of 0.030, which is on the little welders. So it can carry more voltage, more amperage, weld thicker metals. Okay, when you're done with these, please wrap the cords up, same as the other one. And questions about the big welders. They can weld down to 1/8 inch, no problem. So the test material we have, we can turn them down to weld thinner stuff, and they'll work great. What I want to do is get a bunch of you comfortable on these so that we're not all standing around waiting for 3 welders, or 4 welders. Wrapping cords up nice. So really, you don't have to completely unwrap these cords in order to weld with this either. You can have them looped up on here like this, and you can weld just like this. Okay?